Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in again here at Success After Pain podcast. Today, I would like to share with you about accepting life as it is. In our recovery, we find it essential to accept reality. Once we can do this, we can do not find it necessary to use drugs in an attempt to change our perceptions of how we see things. Drugs used to buffer us from the full force of life. When we stop using drugs and enter recovery, we find ourselves confronted directly with life. With many experiences and disappointments, frustration, or anger. Events may not happen the way we want them to. The self-centeredness we cultivated in our addiction has distorted us with our perceptions of life. It is difficult to let go for our expectations and accept life as it is. We learn to accept life by working the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous. We discover how to change our attitudes and let go of our character defects. We no longer need to distort the truth or to run from situations. The more we practice the spiritual principles contained in the steps, the easier it becomes to accept life exactly as it comes to us. So today, tell yourself, just for today, I will practice self-acceptance by practicing the 12 steps. You see, by allowing yourself to accept life on life terms, things get a little easier for you. So just know, a moment of clarity shall set in. Welcome to Success After Pain podcast. I'm your host, and this is more than a podcast. It's a movement. A movement for those who have faced addiction, trauma, setbacks, heartbreaks, and disappointments, and life's toughest challenges. Here we believe your pain does not define your future. Your comeback does. Every week we share real stories, powerful lessons, and practical wisdom to help you turn your struggles into strength and your pain into purpose. So, wherever you're listening from, get ready to be inspired, challenged, and reminded that your best chapters may still be ahead of you. This is Success After Pain podcast. Let's get started. Thinking back over my life, especially during my active addiction years, I was that person never wanting to accept life on life terms. I always wanted what I wanted right then. And with that being said, if I didn't have it like I wanted it at that time, then it wasn't right for me. See, I'm that addict that if it's not to suit me, then it wasn't for me. And most people are like that. But what I've learned since I've came to the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous, accepting life on life terms, make things a little more easier to deal with. Also, it allows me not to stay stuck in the problem. What it does is allows me to find a solution. Taking other people's suggestions and not mine, life is starting to get a whole lot better. See, before coming to the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous, I had a warped way of thinking. It was my way or no way. Well, that led me to a lot of bad decision making. And behind that decision making, It landed me in jails, prisons. I lost friendships. I lost, opportunities. So many things I've lost behind making quick decisions and not accepting life on life terms. So, if you knew, the first thing you want to do is take someone else's suggestion other than yours. Allow someone else to love you till you learn to love yourself. See, because when you don't love yourself, we have a tendency to acting off of impulse. So impulsive behaviors will cause you to not want to accept life on life terms. See, today, I must get it right. I have wasted too many times, or too much times, I shall say, of not getting it right. And that's by not allowing myself to just accept life as I see it. One thing I do know, and two things for certain: nothing is perfect. See, it's called trial and error. So when life disses its cards out and we ends up with them, a lot of times we have to critique or define really the solution behind the situation. Well, most time when you're under the influence of drugs, whether it's alcohol or drugs, because all of it is a drug, it's a chemical that makes you medicate how you feel. Well, when you start to accept life on life terms, then a lot of times, like they told me, it's a fact that you feel, but your feelings is not a fact. In other words, we don't have to act off of impulse because we feel a certain way. The thing that they told me one must do is take yourself out of the problem and find the solution. That's the only way that life is going to start to get better for you and I. So, if I said anything today that may have struck your attention, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Because there was a time in my life when pain controlled my decisions. And that pain, just like I shared, it caused me to act off of impulsive behavior. Today, I'm glad I'm not there anymore. So, thank you for spending this time with me on Success After Pain podcast. If today's episode encouraged you, or challenged you, or reminded you that you are capable of more, be sure to subscribe, share, and leave a review in the community. Remember this: your pain is not your identity. Your pain is not your destiny. And your struggle is not the end of your story. Keep growing, keep healing, and keep believing. Because success isn't about you've been through, what you've been through. It's about what you become of it. Just remember, this is where recovery meets redemption. Peace, proper education always corrects error over here at Success After Pain podcast. Stay tuned until next time we meet again.